Okay. So, time does not change all things, that's for sure. Um, I just got a call from a police department in Mechanicsburg because neither Annie nor Gary Shelton apparently know how to type two letters together. They can type them separately, but to put them together in one sentence, the specific letters N happens to be the letter of my first letter of both of my names, but irrelevant. N plus a vowel. Oh, so I've definitely observed them using the individual N word. No, not that N word, but just N words and O words. But I don't know, maybe there's like a diagnosis for that. I'm sure there is because, boundaries are such a thing. It's like a hot topic the last, I don't know, 30 years. Did someone write a book about that? Oh, wow, that's pretty. Here, I can't flip the camera, but I can do this. And let's just see. Where's the sun? Where's the sun? Okay. Well, yeah, right? I think the book is called, in fact, Boundaries by, let's see, Henry Cloud and John Townsend. Yes, that one. I remember reading that as a college student. We were pretty much obsessed because we completely lacked any. And, fast forward 20 years. I'm in therapy because, my life's been fucked by the people who have been in clergy, power over me and authority, and with the power differential. Oh, yeah, that's the Sheltons. It's the same people. So Annie and Gary, it's the same people. They're the ones, who can't put those two words together. Those two letters together. They can put all kinds of words together. I've heard it. But those two letters, for some reason, but the police can. The police are really good at it. In fact, Officer Freeze, he was lovely, and we had some laughs. It just so happens that they were doing work on the pool here. I don't know anything. I'm completely poor. I don't have any assets. I'm screwed if Jesus doesn't come back. But it just so happens that when I came here to walk, because I'm here in Naples taking care of my parents. My mom. Well, kind of both. But the lovely workers were doing some work on the patio, I guess. And so there's nobody here. So I can talk freely out in the open. That's convenient because no one wants to hear Nikki rant unless it's you, which I'm pretty sure right now is zero. I'm good with it. I do things for the record, and I do things also for the spirit, because here's what I want to say, that now I've been removed, the right to have a response to my abuser has been removed by them temporarily. They think they're getting out of this, but I've appealed to the higher authority in the church, you see, and we're moving forward with the steps that Jesus laid out. And so they've not listened to me. And now that's obviously official, since they had to call the police to tell me to stop texting them, I guess, calling them, and any of their family. I'm like, great, if their family is requesting that, fine. Why can't you just send a little text? It's just in fact, I'll have you know, I am on record multiple times in our recent text thread as a result of Annie calling me out of the effing blue, thank you, Holy Spirit, after 15 years with no warning. She's really good at respecting other people. But, and open, just like ripped open that wound. And then, so I'm like, I literally have been really sensitive in terms of saying, hey, if you don't want me to keep texting, just say so. And I'm on record communicating, and I expect you to say so. Because, there goes my nicotine. Because I've learned a thing or two since the last time they fucked my life. And so like I'm a really good mama to my inner child now. Like really, really fucking good. And I'm just trying to hold too many things. I think I'm going to just put these down. We're just going to let you be. Sorry, guys. I don't let no one hurt my Lolo ever again. And when that whole thing with Annie and she ripped it open, then she tried to disappear again. And I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa. And then like, what did Lynn call him? Wolfman Rich, Wolfman Pastor Rich, Pastor. I could say a couple things, but I don't know. Pastor Predator Protector, Triple P. I think you need a couple more P's next to that P. Pastor Rich, Pastor Predator Protector. That would be more accurate. I think that would be like more disclosure. That would be a fuller disclosure of your character and nature and substance. You're not going to be able to hide your substance before the eyes that burn with flaming fire. Nor can you hide your substance before me. I'll go to the top of whatever church board, whatever, I've contacted Pendel. I love the people who are working with me. And I think they know the sort of people they're dealing with too, which that's a separate issue. But I mean, that's in my opinion, allegedly. All of this is my opinion. But I state that I base my opinion on scripture and reality. So check this shit out. He tried to say, like, I'm like, nice try. And like, okay, so here we go again. So this is my message to you, Annie, Gary. I don't care. I don't have a need to talk to anybody else. Now that I know that they don't want to talk to me, I'm like, how grown up are we? I like this. I'm laughing with the officer. I'm like, can you believe this? Like, shouldn't there be like consequences for using tax dollars and, county resources, distracting your time from fighting crime to go say no on behalf of somebody who apparently can't speak English? Like, there should be constant, and this is the second time. That's so hilarious. First time she did this was in 2017. Before she called me again, remember, because the only reason why this door was opened, and I even unblocked her and all this stuff, is because I reached out with a fresh text saying, hey, why don't we just have a conversation? But then she calls me out of the blue. This was April 24th. I document everything now. I've learned a thing or two. I wasn't born yesterday. I mean, it's June. My birthday's in October. So this is what predators often do. When caught, they attempt to use their power to intimidate the victim. I don't care if you call me an accuser. I am bringing an accusation. So is the Lord. So is the earth, who bore witness and who continue to bear witness to the reality that I am, in contrast to whatever weird thing is going on over there. But I think I'm over the target. I think I got a little too close to the nerve center today. I sent, you know what? I should have looked it up. maybe I don't think I could do it while I'm live. I don't want to risk it, but I sent something. And like, here I am, I'm just being goodwill saying like, hey, you know, I actually, the ironic thing is that today was my last communication. I have that in writing where I'm like, you know what? Time's up. Like I'm done. And then she does this. I think it's like, it's like when you break up with someone and then they're like, no, I'm breaking up with you. It's like, whatever, bro. Go your way. Tell yourself whatever you want. Doesn't make a difference to me. Doesn't hurt me. Way easier for me that you're just you. You're just still you. You're just still that. And I'm like, all right, now I don't need to waste my precious resources of energy and attention and analysis. Cause that shit ain't cheap. I mean, brains don't come easy these days, but I can't take credit for my brains. That's, I'm responsible for my character. That's the only thing that I would boast about in the Lord. So back to tried to say, the officer was great. Officer Free, shout out. Woo woo. Trying to say, don't contact them. Don't contact any of their family members or anyone involved. And I'm like, this is so vague. There's no legal status or you don't have legal power behind something that has vague language. It was just like, okay. And then I tried to say, and listen to this, stop posting social media about us. Can you believe that? That is so funny. That is one of the funniest things I think that I've ever heard. This guy sexually abuses me. His wife covers for him. And without me knowing it, they soil my name for 15 years, blaming me, who was fully assaulted. And and then she contacts me. We're having communication, and they just don't want me to say who they are or what they're like or what they've done. Like, are they like? Is everybody home? Like, I don't think they know like how it works in America right now. Okay. We're not in the surveillance state yet. I know that I live in Florida right now, which is the worst state in the union and is like completely fascist little Israel, but they're not. So like, that's not Pennsylvania or anything, but it's like, is everybody okay? Like, are you okay? Is everybody home? Like, this is not how people behave. Like, I don't think they're old enough to be boomers. Are they? They're not boomers. I don't even know. But it's like she's 15 years older than me. He's 20 years older than me. And I'm just like, but you have like grown children. Can't they be like advising you? Like, did nobody think to say, hey, why don't you just like say that you're done? And like, not a single person in their orbit like had that bright idea. Wow. 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 Like a big, oh, wow, wow, wow. It's kind of more like, wow. Wow. Like, wow. Yeah. Wow. Like, no bueno. I'm not interested in that. That is like, oh man, like I thought you were taking chemo this time and like maybe some of the cancer was gone, but like actually you've had a total, what is it called? Like you're definitely not in remission. You've had like a second wave or whatever. And now you're like in stage 4. You're like stage 4 cancer. And I'm like, whoa, okay, grace to you as you transition, like metaphorically. And it's like, they're just, so that they tried to censor him. I'm like, thank God I'm like part of Team Candace and Team Truth. I'm like, and like Baron Coleman. Oh, such an inspiration. And Buckley, Tucker and Buckley Carlson and Tucker. And it's like, you actually don't get to tell me what I do on my social media. Back the hell up. Like what? That's why I'm like, hello, hello. Is anybody home? Hello. You do know that we're still living in America right now, right? You do know that they at least claim that we're a constitutional republic or democracy or whatever. But like, you do know that that's still what they say, even though it's like not the reality and we kind of are fascist already and we're heading in that direction. But like, as far as on the books, like that's not what's really written yet. So like, we got to go by what's written because, you know, like just like with the Bible, it's what's written is like a record of like what God really wants. Kind of like when Jesus said, if your brother sins against you, or he doesn't even say against you, he says, if your brother sins, it's just bonus if it's against you, go to him and reprove him in private. And if he doesn't listen to you, bring one or two others along. And if he still doesn't listen to you, tell it to the church. And if he still doesn't listen, you treat him as an unbeliever, Gentile, or tax gatherer. And elsewhere, Paul says you don't offer a greeting, you don't welcome him into your home, and you don't share a meal. They're cut off from the church, and they are publicly recognized as apostate. Okay? Those are the words that are written, kind of like how we still have a constitution that's written. Okay? So that's part of what God decided was one of the things really important of what Jesus said that needed to be written. Okay? So like, I explained this to the officer. I'm like, officer, let me let you in on a little secret here. Like, and I explained, this is the authority structure that I operate under. I mean, in addition to my, you know, the legal, civil, and all that good stuff, you know, compliant and everything that doesn't cause me to dishonor God or my fellow man. So I'm like, I mean, first I just started with the like, what are you talking about? Like, honestly, like, bro, you should like check yourself on. And I did say this, so I'm not like outing him, but like, that's not even legal. How are you even repeating something? Like, how are you asserting? Like, it's like that thing where when people accuse you, and it's exactly what's happening to Charlie Kirk right now and Tyler Robinson trial, and it's a show trial, and they have nothing. It's a total fraudulent case, and allegedly, and in my opinion, and and they're like doing all these offensive moves, right? Because that's what a narcissist does. When they're attacked or really, like, you can't hold a mirror up to a narcissist because they'll always call it an attack. So here, let's do narcissism 801. So here, we'll sit, I can act like this is my, I don't know, it's not a lectern, I don't have a lectern, but I can sit here, act, I don't know, it's conversation style. It's an 800 level course, so, you know, we're relaxed. There are couches and it's a lounge. So narcissists, you can be sure, my young pupils, that though you may try to hold up this simple metaphysical object called a mirror, it's simple. It could be glass as long as it's like shiny enough and all that. Better if it's reflective. So if you hold up this mirror, they'll punch it. So then you have like broken glass, and well, that's kind of dangerous and awkward. And then then you're like bleeding, and there's blood, and you're just like, wow, I didn't expect violence. That's how I feel with this police thing. So she did this. I know I'm like going all around, but I'm connected. She did this in 2017, but here's the difference. And I told the officer, because he's like, oh, well, you signed a letter, you know, accepting the restraining order. I was so caught off guard. I was like, what the hell? Like we were been in relationship at that point. Well, for 14 of the whatever 20 years it had been, or whatever point. And in 2017, yeah, 20 years. And I'm like, it was the same thing, but I didn't have the healing. I wasn't whole enough. I hadn't been through therapy, like I was very traumatized actually at the moment, at that time, because of what they'd done and what they did to me was deplorable, deplorable. And now that they've shown their unrepentant colors, we'll see if Jason and Lorna, but I think this is a pretty good sign that they don't want to have anything. So guess what? We're telling it to the church. We're telling it to the church because, and I don't really know how to transition from step 3 to step 4 because we have to create a deadline of how long after telling it to the church and what that means and what that looks like. So for me, I think it's going to be a campaign. It'll be a campaign because I don't know, I feel really motivated. Kind of like after the whole Mike Bickle thing and, you know, um, dealing with that nightmare, drama, trauma. I don't know. I got this, I got fire in my soul. And I said to Officer Freeze, I said, so can you deliver a message for me in that direction? And he said, what is it? I said, please, can you just let her know that, I'm not intimidated by this Darvo tactic. Defend, deflect, attack, reverse, victim, and offender. Darvo acronym. That's what narcissists do. It's the predators who accuse their prey of being predators. It's like it. There's another word for it. It's simpler. It's just called inversion. Inversion. So, man, I'm gonna have to get out of the sun soon. So where was I? Where actually was I? Got a lot of thoughts. You know what? I think it's time for a nicotine. Hold on a second. Yep, it's time. Come on, baby, open up. That doesn't sound very good. Strike that from the record. Okay. So they're trying to restrict my First Amendment right to free speech. I'm like, are you insane? I'm not guilty of anything. And even if I were, that's not how it's done. And so, but I'm not. And they're actually guilty of something. And I told the officer exactly what it was all because I know how to summarize now. That's what I was saying. In the past, I could be intimidated because I've been a prey. I had been a prey, the prey role for, all my life up to that point, and I still was when I came to Bickle, when I came to, IHOP. But I'm not that person anymore. No, no. I went into my cocoon. Yeah, yeah. And then we opened up the door. My Lord. Yes. And I won't be that prey anymore. Boom. Copyright Nikki Nara 2026. Just kidding. No, but that was spontaneous. The point is, I can't be intimidated anymore. You know why? Because I'm actually not a caterpillar. I'm not a belly crawler. I'm not slime under your foot. I know who I am. I have full awareness of my value, my rights, biblically and civilly, actually. You're not going to get away with it. So I can actually fly now above all that. I'm not bound to the earth. The first one of the songs I just posted, which is one of my oldest songs, I am not a chicken, I'm an eagle. It's profound, actually. It should still be up on my story, the link to my SoundCloud. And so I asked him, I said, well, first of all, I clearly asserted myself because this is the thing. The one thing that narcissists can't take, I haven't read this anywhere, no one else has told me, this is just my personal experience and observation, is if you raise your energy higher than theirs, and even if it's just with a fire in your eyes, they have to run. They have to. Because someone who uses intimidation, manipulation, coercion, control tactics, and intimidation, they're addicted to power. See? But they have no substance. They don't have the substance of courage. They're cowards. And Annie and Gary Shelton are cowards. You're cowards. Now we all know it. So now, I won't be intimidated. I keep hearing, I won't back down. Come on, Tom Petty. Won't back down. I'm gonna stand my ground. 'Cause I won't back down. I don't know how to stop this. Bye.